On today's Fit to Eat, I'm going to show you how to make delicious pepper and herb crusted tenderloin slices, a yam puree, and a bitter green salad. Rebecca Turner will be whipping up some fresh fruit and yogurt tarts. We visit the Remington Lott Cattle Ranch in Canton, Mississippi on our Down on the Farm segment, and our guest is Travis Moore, Regional President of the Citizens Bank. Be right back. Welcome back to Fit to Eat. I'm your host, Rob Stinson, and today we have Travis Moore, Regional President of the Citizens Bank. Travis was 50 years old when he decided to start a fitness program and is a great example that it is truly never too late to be healthy. Travis, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rob.
Travis and I know each other well through business, but this is a new endeavor, huh?
Yes, it is.
And I tell you what was so unique, in my opinion, is to find somebody like yourself who works in a bank where oftentimes, what do? We sit around a lot. Right. That has found a way to incorporate fitness in and obviously made a dramatic change in your life. Now, we're going to do, and just so you know, everything we do on this show is healthy, salt-free, right, virtually fat-free, and we try to keep our carbs to a minimum, although we are going to be using sweet potato today. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is an herb and pepper crusted tenderloin of beef. Okay. And we'll talk about that cut of beef that I chose. And that's going to be seared and sliced and kind of fanned out for everyone to see. Then we're going to do a yam puree. And this is using sweet potatoes from Vardaman. So, you know, great local Mississippi product. And then we're going to take some bitter greens. We're going to take some kale and actually show people you can eat something that looks like it's bunny food, you know? But let's talk about this cut of beef. And if we can get a close-up down on this, this is not the typical tenderloin that you go in the store and is priced so high no one can afford it. Mm-hmm. This is actually shoulder tenderloin. Now, very similar in the way the grain runs in it. It's a much smaller tenderloin, obviously, than the whole back tenderloin. But this, if you ask a butcher in a local store to cut, is about a third of the price of filet. Okay. And it has a lot of the same qualities. Tender, it's delicious, and I love using it. We use it in several of our restaurants. All right, so here's where we're going to start. First things first. To create a good pepper and herb crust, I've got some fresh parsley, fresh oregano. Okay. Adds a lot of flavor in. And you can use these dry guys if you can't find them fresh. It's just so much nicer. And we've got fresh herbs growing all around the set today. So let's see now. Let's move all of this up here where we can really get a good look at it. I'm putting in now some garlic powder. Okay. Garlic powder has no salt. Garlic salt, obviously, is full of salt. Some white pepper. Quite a bit of black pepper, because you're not going to actually get all this. A lot of this will cook into the pan. And then some onion powder. So we stir that up real well. And then, you know, obviously, we get into some detail on these recipes. So for all of you out there, if you're interested in any of our recipes you see on today's show, visit our webpage at mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat or join the Facebook page, MPB Fit to Eat. All right, so what we've got now is a nice mix, and what happens if you look at it, you can see how the herbs have kind of joined together with some of the seasoning. This tenderloin, you made a comment to me before we started about how you adjusted your portions. Right. Probably the biggest and most important thing people do when they start thinking about making a life change in the way they eat is reducing portion size, huh?
Right, and you have to pay attention to that because it's easy to overdo the portion. It's very easy.
Yeah. And we all grew up that way.
And some of this food's so delicious you can't help it, okay? You have to pay attention to that, and you're right.
It's so true. So what we're going to do, take that tenderloin off the plate. Okay, because that is literally about 3/4 of a pound, and all we need on this is about 5 ounces.
Okay.
A proper serving size. So what we're going to do is cut this on a bias, and look at how beautiful. Doesn't that look just like a fillet?
Yes, it does.
I mean, it really is amazing, that similarity. So we've got about a 5-ounce piece here and here. Maybe this one's a little smaller. So staff out there gets to eat this when we're done. So we're going to actually come back and cook them both. But I'm going to remove one half over here. Let's take the prettier half, and put this one over here for the set. Got to sterilize that board. One thing I try to encourage people when they're watching too, a little bleach on a towel with some water. When you've finished, you always want to get that away so you don't have any kind of cross-contamination. Now the fun part. Get to kind of play with this in here and just coating it. And then when I get it in the pan, I might put you to work a little bit. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, now do you cook?
I cook some. My wife lets me grill a lot, but inside the house, she's in charge of that. So.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So you've got your chef.
Yeah. But I will say that it's hard to go to a restaurant and get 5 ounces or less. The portion is too big.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, the issue there is everybody wants to think that bigger is better.
Right.
And in this case, bigger is not better. So now what we're doing, we're going to take a zero fat spray.
Okay.
Pan is hot. We hit it with that zero fat spray, just half a second. And then we're going to take the actual tenderloin and place in the pan. And now here's the trick when pan searing. You put it in there, and the most important thing is initially not to move it.
Okay.
And that allows it to really sear. We're going to kick the heat up on high. And when it does, when it sears that way, it seals all the juices in.
Okay.
So it really keeps all the nutrients and all the flavor that you want. So let's go back. Okay. Walk me through a day in your life being a person that works in an office. I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring someone on the show that so many people out there can identify with. How do you do it? How do you fit working out into your day?
Well, starting 3 years ago, I'm in the gym at 4 o'clock, 3 days a week, during the week, and 1 day on weekends. And I force myself to do that. It's easy to get out of the habit. And if you get out of the habit, if you're out of town, you miss a few days, you have to force yourself to get back in. So I go to the gym, work out. When I'm going to the gym, I'm thinking, what am I doing? It's so early. But you know, when I get through working out, I feel so great. I shower, I just feel wonderful and feel refreshed and ready to go to work and just fight the day.
Yeah.
And then when I come home at night, if it's in the summertime, springtime, sometime in the fall, I try to stay outside, do some yard work. Try to stay active, because if I don't, I'll just sit down and not exercise.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I tell you what, it shows that you created a whole life-changing pattern, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, probably the easiest thing to say, I'm going to spray this on the top because we're going to flip it. Okay. And when we do, let's take this and get underneath it, trying to keep all those beautiful herbs on there because they're going to almost blacken. Then what we do is when we move this out of here, we'll have all that wonderful seasoning in there, and we're going to cook and sear our vegetable right in there. Okay. Let me turn this one off. We're kind of pulling a little trickaroo over here. I've already taken the liberty of boiling one of the yams.
Okay.
It just takes so long, and what we want to do is really show more the technique on how we can do it to kind of come up with a nice little puree. But I tell you what, this quality of beef is something that people don't know exists, and it's affordable. And you can get it anywhere, at any major store. So to me, it's a great opportunity for people to save some money and get a really nice lean cut of meat.
And the beauty of that, if you sit down and analyze eating healthy costs more than not eating healthy.
Yep.
So when you can save money on something like this is a great idea, but eating healthy is more expensive.
It is, but you know, you have to look, and you know, we had the analogy on shrimp. Don't buy that Asian import that's loaded with preservatives. Buy our wild-caught American shrimp, you know, and it absolutely, across the board, it tastes better. Might cost a little more, but in the long run, somebody made a comment on one of the shows, healthcare costs that'll be there because of what you're eating. It might be the cheaper way to go. All right, so let's do this. Registered dietitian Rebecca Turner is going to show us an easy way to whip up a tasty dessert that the entire family can enjoy. Come back.
Have you ever wished for a nutritionist to agree that yes, it's completely acceptable to have dessert after every meal? Well, keep dreaming. Despite the hopes of your inner sweet tooth, ice cream, cakes, and pies will never be an appropriate food to eat daily. Still, that doesn't mean all desserts are off limits when you're trying to live a healthier life. In fact, the next time you have a craving for something sweet, I actually recommend you trying this fruit and yogurt tart. This tart is so simple and delicious you won't believe it's good for you. Did I mention there is no baking involved and the whole thing comes together in a snap? You just simply start by taking a pre-made graham cracker crust. Of course, you could make your own, but today I'm showing you the quickest way to put a healthier dessert on the table. Next, use plain Greek-style yogurt for twice the protein than regular yogurt and a thick texture. To lessen the sugar without any fuss, I used equal parts of plain and vanilla-flavored yogurt. This trick cuts the sugar in half without any artificial sweeteners, and the flavor is still strong enough to enjoy. Now, once it's mixed well, you're just going to spoon it into your pie crust, covering it every inch. But you want to make sure you leave enough room to add the topping, which is the best part, the fruit. Now, you really could use any fruits that you want, but today I'm using my favorite three: strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. Once your fruit is washed and sliced, you simply just take it and start covering your pie all the way around. You know, you could get your kids in the kitchen and make happy faces or smiley faces, or really get fun with decorating your pie. Next, you can just take the blueberries and sprinkle them on. The best part about this dessert is there's no right or wrong way to put on your fruit. Now, once you have assembled your pie, you just want to cover it and refrigerate it till it's chilled. Now you can wow your family and friends with dessert that is truly fit to eat.
Those tarts look great. What a way to get more fresh fruit in your family's diet. I don't know if I would have even thought of that. All right, so we're back. Here's where we're pulling the switcheroo.
Okay.
All right, so what we're gonna do, and we can talk about this, beautiful sweet potatoes. We are the capital of the world in Mississippi.
Right.
Vardaman has got higher production of sweet potatoes than anywhere. And as a result, we get the best. So I love to use them. I've used them quite a bit on the show in all kinds of different ways. Today we're just gonna make kind of a simple puree, which would have been like our dad's kind of, you know, my father, as he said, he goes, I love sweet potato, yam, and mash, and he would mash them.
Right.
So this is basically all that we're doing. So let's take this one now. We're gonna move over and actually pull the switcheroo. I have taken the liberty of already boiling, and oh, you know, let's show people. How do you know it's done? When you can stick something in it, it comes right out. See how simple that is? A lot of people like to use a toothpick.
Right.
Just so a fork, whatever, that's the easiest way to know.
Yep.
So we're gonna pull that right out, let it drain just a little bit, and then we're gonna switch them around. Because like I said, the staff is going to be eating really good today. We're going to have to actually cut off that end piece.
It's too big.
So, yeah, that's all right, though. Let's just carefully, and then put it right back in, and we'll turn the heat up on that. That way they get a full meal for everybody. We love you guys out there.
How long did the other one cook?
That cooked for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
About 10 minutes. So we're going to put it right back in front and center. Set this down below just for now. And we're going to actually take it and mix it together with some cinnamon,
Okay.
black pepper, garlic powder again, okay, so no salt,
Right.
onion powder, and then the juice, instead of butter, is going to be vegetable stock.
Okay.
And that's a vegetable stock you can pick up at any store, no fat, no salt. Real important, I think. You know, easiest thing in the world to do is to make vegetable stock just by roasting vegetables, throw it in the pot. But anyhow, let's go through this, and as I cut into it, sometimes you can cook these to the point where you can even mash the skin, and I think I may have done that. So let's see if we can get, in the easiest way, That skin is probably going to pull right off. Let's put our bowl right up there next to it.
That looks so tender.
It is, and there you go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I don't throw these away. I love the skin. So, I mean, everybody's a little different. I take it and I could put it back underneath the broiler and keep it, but look how simple that is.
I'd prefer the skin also.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, I think it's a part that you hate to miss, but, you know, to each his own. We'll set that on the side for now. All right, now I'm putting you to work. You ready?
Okay.
We're going to set this over here. I'm going to give you 2 spoons to have fun with.
Okay.
And, you know, let's talk a little bit about how you and I actually met.
Okay.
You know, I am down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Those of you who don't know, I have 6 restaurants down in the Biloxi Gulfport area.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to meet Travis. Let's put in the onion, garlic, pepper, and cinnamon. Gives it a neat flavor. And then some of our stock. We might add a little as we go. But I'm going to let you kind of have fun doing that. But I mean, honestly, I guess our relationship really started when we got into looking at historical renovations on the coast. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful relationship it has been over the years.
Well, you know, Rob, to think about it, we started off in a very bad time. After Katrina, the Gulf Coast was at a tough time. We were all in a tough time. And that was the time that we met and started working together.
That's right. That's right. You know, I guess it says, you know, you can always overcome adversity. And it's such an exciting thing for me now to see the growth on the Gulf Coast and in Mississippi in general. My gosh, some places up here, it seems like things are growing rapidly as well, you know, which is a good thing. So, you know, I think that's really wonderful. And I tell you what, see how easy that is if it's cooked right?
Yeah,
and you get all that flavor mixed throughout.
And it smells good, too.
Oh, I know, huh? That's where we need the smell-o-vision. I swear, huh? Isn't that neat, though? That's great. I mean, and I tell you what, I love putting people to work. You see, my job just got easier over here. You know, I have so much fun, though. And in a recipe like this, I didn't even think we need the rest of the stock. That looks great.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect the way it is. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, between that and our steak, then we're going to come back and have a little fun. So let's go now. On today's Down on the Farm segment, we travel to the Remington Lott Cattle Ranch in Canton, Mississippi, and we're going to see what they're doing differently. Come right back.
Remington Lott Farms in Canton, Mississippi raises free-range cattle. Their herd of over 1,000 are closely monitored from birth to provide the best possible meat.
We know the day the calf is born. We watch his weight, we feed him, we've got a special formula. We have nutritionists that gives us the formula that we mix up our feed to for the whole stages. From when they're calves on up to the point when we slaughter them. And we feel like we can now grow a premium quality beef, and it all will be good because we follow them all the way through.
The supplemental fed is the cattle are free range, running on grass, but they're also supplemental fed a grain-based diet to enhance the marbling and improve the flavor. Our cattle are local, free-range, hormone-free, and supplemental fed. We're trying to capture the best of all worlds. It's an alternative market to the people that are interested in where their product comes from. Our slogan is conception to consumption, so we own the cattle from birth on. None of them are bought or brought in, trying to make this as safe and nutritious and good tasting a product as we can raise. Currently, our beef is available by special order or through the farmers markets that we mentioned or at some select restaurants.
We have the ability to know ours are born here, raised here, and processed here. Just looks like we've got a niche that there's a market for. And we do have a product that is 100% American, Mississippian, and Madison County. We get nothing but good remarks on the taste of it.
If you want to learn more about Remington Lott Farms, you can check out their Facebook page. All right, are we ready, man? I tell you what, I'm going to actually put you to work on this one.
Good.
Because here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start working on getting the plate ready while we finish doing our bitter greens that we're going to julienne.
Okay,
so we're going to start off with just a half a teaspoon. Remember, oil is such a low item you want. And then we're going to throw in our onion. Turn the heat up a little. Our garlic. I spiced this one up a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit of crushed red pepper, and it's about 1/8 of a teaspoon, so we don't even need as much as, it just looks so empty when I put that little tiny bit in there. It's hard to believe that that could be enough. We move this one around. And I tell you what, that's already got a great aroma, huh?
It smells great.
And then we're going to throw in our diced red bell pepper, and that's really for color, but I also like the flavor of them, you know?
Yeah.
It's got kind of a natural sweetness. All right, so while we have this, and I'll give you a spatula so you don't have to kill yourself trying to flip it. Just done that quite a few times. Now, the way to practice that, you know how you do it? With a piece of toast. With a piece of toast is the easiest way.
That would be simple.
Now, if you just kind of move that around while I'm gonna, what we're using is our green, and people are gonna laugh, is kale. And a lot of people think, well, gee, you know, we don't really use kale. But in this case, I love it. And what I do with it is I julienne, we're gonna get about a cup, and you can really not go wrong because it's gonna wilt down to a degree.
Right.
But let's take all of that, throw right on top, maybe one more cut.
Rob, I'm watching you with that knife. Do you replace knives often or sharpen knives often?
I sharpen it on a regular basis.
Okay.
I've had these knives over 20 years.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I never replace. That'd be almost like losing a wife. Maybe worse.
Okay.
Sorry, Paige. All right. See how pretty and bright it's getting? Now watch what we do. We'll deglaze the pan with some vegetable stock. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clean our board off of that kale, and then we're gonna work on actually getting the plate ready, because what I did was take the liberty of cutting that beautiful piece of beef. And look at when I fan it out across the plate, it just looks so incredible. And obviously, I heard what you said, how you like your beef. This would be more of a medium rare.
Okay.
And probably my favorite way to eat.
What's the most common way that people eat it?
Probably medium.
Okay.
So listen, all this is available. If you want any of the recipes, go to our webpage at mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat, or join our Facebook page, MPB Fit to Eat. So very simple there. Then what we're going to do here is take that beautiful puree and place it in one corner. And look at that. I mean, tell me that doesn't look delicious.
And it smells great.
Oh my gosh. We can move all of this out of the way. We're doing really good, and I tell you what, I think you've actually got it to a point. So, you know, how do we stay disciplined, getting and going and doing everything we do? You know, there are fitness trackers, there are apps on phones.
Yes.
There are lots of different ways we can go about it. But the key is to stay disciplined and stay consistent, huh?
You have to pay
attention. I'm going to grab that from you right now.
It takes discipline, you have to pay attention, and you have to want to be healthy to stay healthy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It never ends.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And you see what's nice about this? It's virtually got no oils, no fats. It's got pretty color, which is one of the things I really like about it. We can get pretty much all of that out of the pan. Sorry that I'm blocking us right there. And I tell you what, with that, we're going to take a beautiful little fresh sprig or two of oregano and put it right in the middle. And I tell you what, it's a pretty plate, huh?
That looks great. It really does.
I mean, it's amazing. And, you know, I always make this comment. You eat with your eyes as well as your taste buds. You know, when you're chewing and eating, if it looks great, it's a better experience. And if you're eating healthy, it makes you feel as if you have not had to starve yourself.
True.
You're treating yourself to something special if you can make your plate look as good as the food tastes.
And if you feel that you're treating yourself when you're dieting, that makes you want to stay on it longer and do a better job.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, I'd like to thank our guest, Travis Moore, for helping me out today. I'm your host, Rob Stinson. Eat well, enjoy yourself, come back and see us.
Thank you, Rob.